Jahan, what's up? Can you guys tell me if you guys can hear me? Can you guys can hear me? Yes, you can hear me. How's the volume? Okay. All right. So, see, we got in the chat A10 pilot. What's going on? John Hooper from Vienna. A10 pilot, smiling. Sebastian, is that my boy from the gym? Is that Seabass? I can't tell by the profile pic. Bernard, Shane, Julian, Brett. How's everybody doing? Keeping up with the Joneses. How's it going? Stacy Johnson, how are you? Duck Duck, how's it going? Bernard, how are you? You're going to hear some ambient noise. My plumber is actually here to tell me how painful my whole thing's going to be downstairs. But for those of you, we have 26 here. Before we get into it, hi, Benny. That's you, Seabass. So Sebastian is one of my boys from the gym. He's not trained at the same gym anymore. Seabass, hit me up so I can find out where you're training. I need you to train me, buddy. I clearly have not been in the gym. So before we start, we have 28 people in here. Lee, how are you? What I do with these live streams is basically they're like happy hour live streams. They're not really based on any particular subject. I answer every comment I possibly can or question. And all I'm really looking to do here is it's our community. We are a family here on YouTube. I don't just say that. I do mean it. So what I want to do always is check in on you guys, see how you're doing. And versus having something that is topic based, you guys choose the topic and we talk about it. We do whatever. These run about 2 hours long. So if you see me get hit in the head by a wife or kids that are going to be kicking me off, that's why I don't do many of these, because I can't shut up. Seabass, I hope all is well, bro. Please give me a call, man, so we can catch up. So quickly, we got 41 people in here. I want to catch you guys up really quickly on why you haven't seen a lot of content from me. The channel's actually doing better than ever. Thank you guys all so much. Am I actually looking into the camera? Thank you guys all so much. The channel is doing amazing. The problem with what's happening is getting any content going with an issue in my home with a sewer system since early March. The basement was flooded. Had it taken care of, cleaned up my home theater, got everything out, and then you think you're done, and then it happens again, and then now I've dug up the yard, and now so it's not a renovation, it's a huge job downstairs, lots of money, lots of, more importantly, time. However, I'm still so lucky and fortunate to have survived everything, healthy, doing okay, everybody's okay, I'm okay. It's just having people in your home, having workers in your home, and obviously tearing my home theater apart. But what's going to be good for us topic-wise is my TV isn't back yet, my 77-inch. So I have very much in the ways of choices that I can make for my next panel. And you guys can be part of that process, because obviously I don't have the room right now for my 77-inch to come back. So it's totally up in the air what that is going to be. It can be an 83-inch. It could be, so we're going to talk about that. But out of the way, yeah, I'm not having a renovation. It's just homeowner stuff. But again, I'm very, very lucky and everything is going great. But I have to say to you guys, I want to thank you guys just for your friendship, for being there. You guys, I am typically much more active in the comments. I do pride myself on keeping in touch with you guys. I have not been able to do that, and I really apologize. So any of you guys that are new to the community, please know that it bothers me when I can't get back to you. It's not because I'm too busy on YouTube. And YouTube for me is purely part-time. This is not a career for me. So a lot of the guys that you see me do live streams with, this is their thing. For me, it's a part-time thing, and it does a lot for me to have you guys. So I'm very thankful to have you, and I just want to say thank you. So what do you guys feel like talking about today? So thank you. Keeping up with the Joneses. Hector, how are you doing, buddy? So what's your next 77-inch and why? Hey, Patrick. Hey, guys. So interesting. I did do a tech therapy video on this subject because I want to talk about variable refresh rate. And no, Bobby, that's not my career. Actually, I'm not an electronics person for my career. I keep my career. I'm in the wellness industry. I'll just, keep that there. I am in the therapy industry. So we'll leave that there. As far as I had a 77-inch LG CX, and I had terrible vertical banding. I had also crawling black. So you'll see that actually. Adam, how are you? You'll see that actually on the channel, that my panel was having all kinds of problems. And, I got it from Robert at Value Electronics. I did not do the QC part of it. Didn't have them calibrated. I just wanted the panel, and I didn't want to bother Robert. So it was a nightmare from the day that I had it. It did improve with updates, but it still was a real problem. Like I said, crawling black's almost like venom. It would literally just crawl around, and very distracting. So I returned that about 4 months ago, maybe more than that. And Robert was having a challenge finding me a clean panel, which should tell you that it's difficult. So those of you that order TVs from Value Electronics, sometimes the QCing can take a while, but because they're not all clean. So I waited for mine, and then this happened in March. For those of you that just joined us, sewer break outside, then inside, and a total disaster. That Rachel, super chat. You were so sweet. Thank you, Rachel. And Rachel, I hope you got your. I spoke to Robert. You should be getting your panel this weekend, or okay, you are getting it this weekend. So Rachel ordered a C1. I think you're going to love it. Rachel, from what I understand, Robert and John took a very long time to really find you a really nice clean panel. So back to my not clean panel is when I returned it, I really wanted another CX. To me, it was one of the very most fleshed out panels. All of the updates that it took, it's finally where it needs to be. And unfortunately, by the time I was ready to buy it, the C1 was already out. So Robert told me to hang back, and by the time I'm ready to buy, prices are going to come down again. And I have a whole nother. Thank you for the super chat, Rachel. That's very sweet of you. I had a whole other group of TVs to choose from: the A90J, the A80J, the new QNED lineup, the Samsung NQ. I say Q90A. I have that one coming out. I have a lot to choose from, just like you guys. So you're going to watch me choose. Now, as the question was, my decision is based like you guys. This panel is going to be mine. It's not going to be a panel that I'm going to take and send back. It's not something that I'm borrowing. This is mine. And everything that you see me buy, I buy. But I'm not somebody who returns TVs or sells them or anything like that. So like you, I'm making a big purchase, but I'm in a weird spot because the A90J is so impressive. I'll be filming it next week at Value Electronics at 83 inches. It's very impressive. Trading in a little better picture quality, less HDMIs, less variable refresh rate, things like that. So that's going to be my decision. Then I have the mini LEDs from LG coming out. So there is a lot to kind of unbox and see what's there. But I don't have to make a decision just yet. So you guys will make that decision with me. Okay. Let me just catch up on these comments real quick. Again, thank you so much, Rachel. Very sweet of you. RFR Mac, how are you? Thank you, Cambridge. Hey, Paul, how are you? And Paul, Paul had said the 83-inch, I think, is going to be the most impressive panel this year. And I know this year more than ever, if you can look to buy, just know that when you buy, you're paying a premium. If you can just step back for a little bit, even a few weeks, you'll see the prices drop significantly. am I even looking at the there we go. If you can let the prices fall just a little bit, but know that if you do buy and you're within your return window from retailers, they will credit you the difference as long as you seek that out. But right now, the A90J is my probably first for me. The panel that I think is the most impressive. All right, so we're gonna go. Stacy Johnson, how are you, Stacy? When do you think the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X shortage will get better? And in your opinion, Stacy, I did a video on this actually before the pandemic even started. There was no business on them releasing them with the shortages. Unfortunately, the PlayStation 5 especially, they're having a very hard time getting those panels in. They're going to redo the body on them. I will tell you that I have them both. I paid a premium for them both just to have them for the channel. And I think the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X are great placeholders until they're plentiful. I don't think you should spend a lot of money on scalpers or spend a lot of money on them. But I think you're going to see PlayStation at least till next year, Series X sooner. Oh, Neil, thank you so much. Do you prefer OLED or LED displays? Thank you, Neil. Do I prefer OLED? That's hard, Neil. I'm an LED guy at heart. I love specular highlights. I love very, very bright panels. But in my very humble opinion, and I'm not afraid to say this, I think LED technology had gone backwards the last number of years. I think it really peaked with the Sony Z9D and the Samsung Q9 FN were my favorite panels. And then after that, handling blooming became kind of an afterthought. Samsung, almost like Sony allowed it to have shadow detail, and Samsung almost, blurred things out or made things look like an IPS panel. So for me, I'm an LED at heart. I have very high hopes for the Z9J, which I'll also be putting against the A90J. At Value Electronics, I'm very excited for that, but I'm an LED guy at heart. But right now, OLED is what I prefer as far as picture quality. Thank you so much, Neil. Again, Rachel, thank you so much. Yeah, Rachel, I don't want to say everyone to be patient if you have ordered, but the QCing thing, they really do take a long time to find you a good panel. So I did speak to him today, Rachel. So, and he'll pass my email and we can communicate. And tell your spouse I said hello, and you're going to see the panel very, very soon. All right, let's go back up here. I appreciate the super chats. They're not necessary for me to answer your questions. It's very kind of you to super chat, but I read the comments anyway. So again, I thank you, but it's not necessary. Going way back up here. Tomek, how are you, my friend, in Poland? How's everything? Adam, thank you so much. I'll see you again, okay? I really appreciate the effort. You did a great job.
I told your wife, if you need my guys to come over here with the truck and haul that stuff when you have it all torn, just call.
Yeah, and believe me, I'll be recommending you without question.
And they'll come by and run everything to the city carding for you.
Thank you so much. I'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you, sir.
That's my guy, Adam, who did my basement and was literally like Shawshank Redemption. He was digging. His guys were holding his feet. I actually have a picture of it. I'll put it up on one of the videos. All right, I'm off topic. 85 people in here. Let's see. Okay. Tomek, what's up? Solidarity, what's up? Hang it. The house is a mess. We will talk about the Evo panel. I did talk to FOMO briefly through text. I know I was supposed to be on with him tomorrow. Seabass, call me. I'm already way behind. Again, these live streams are probably boring for you because I'm just going to read your comments and drink a little bit. Bernard, yes. FOMO was all over that, and him and I talked about that a few weeks ago, and we'll talk a bit about that. To me, it's interesting. I don't know if that has to do with the manufacturing having an issue, having enough panels, or they were behind and need to supplement, but it is a little disturbing when you have, and I felt this way with the gaming industry for many years, when they would keep content locked on discs, and then you would pay a premium when they would unlock it. So to me, it's very similar. Trying to control panels with software updates has always made me nervous because I tend to want to take my display offline. So I recommend for all, and it sounds ridiculous and counterintuitive for smart TVs, but if you take them offline, let guys like FOMO and other people that are really on it, let them come out and tell you that it's safe. Then replug in use an Apple TV or a Fire Stick. That's my recommendations. My TVs are all offline all the time. And it's not because I think someone's going to hurt them on purpose. I just don't want to mess with. My CX was in great shape before it took its update, and then it's a mess. Okay. Ian, how are you? Tell Kim I said hi, brother. Jacob, with the Xbox Series X, what I would do is plug them in with your USB, then go into, I believe it's controllers and devices, and then update them. It'll tell you it doesn't need an update, and then you're going to hit update, and it's going to update it. And then hit it again and update it until you can't anymore, and that'll help, because all of my controllers and headsets for the Series X said there was no update, and then they needed an update. Patrick, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Not necessary, but I really appreciate it with a super chat. That's very nice of you, bro. I really, really do appreciate it. Review for the tube. Michael, what is up? Hopefully you and I can connect in the city once things, well, I think things are settling down a little bit. Just got the CX. James Larson just got the CX 77 inches. Panel looks good. Sound is not syncing up with lips all the time. Go into the audio settings. You should be able to. There is a setting in there. And if in doubt, always hard reset the panel. Hottie, thoughts on the Hisense? I'm not as huge a fan as FOMO is. FOMO loves the Hisense, and him and I was more of a TCL and Vizio guy, but it is very, very impressive, the U8G, especially the high peak brightness. The challenge, and I've said this to many of you guys before, the challenge with those panels is that leap of faith, not being able to really see them in person. And as much as I want to always support Vizio, TCL, and Hisense, it's always going to be about their screen uniformity and their quality control. But I would definitely purchase one. And what I love, Hadi, about the U8G and TCL and Vizio, to a lesser extent because they've struggled in the last few years, is being able to offer the highest end specs at a lower price. So if we're looking at something like the 900H or the X90J from this year, you might think the U8G is comparing with that, when in reality they're flagships. So I'd rather see somebody go with maybe the step down brand with their flagship than a higher end, a higher end brand with their mid tier. Oh, hold on a second. Let's see. Thank you, IRL HDR. Yeah, it sucks. I can't lie. You know what? I'm going to tell you what's going to sound terrible about the home, other than my kids and the house feeling terrible, is having to use smaller TVs and a headset instead of my larger TVs and Atmos. I'm used to Atmos surround. I'm used to a nice room, and yeah, headphones are great, but it's just not the same. Mike, how's it going? Family's well. I hope you guys are all doing well. Excited to upgrade my 2013 Samsung to an OLED this fall. My pleasure. And I want to cover this really quickly. And it is. Thank you so much, Patrick. Let me get back to the live. Where is this? I lost the comments for 1 second. Hold on. Oh, there they go. All right. So OLEDs, I think what's fascinating is, and this happened a few years ago when Vizio had 75-inch TVs and they were $4,000. That was like one of my first 4K TVs. I know we want more affordable panels. I know it's ridiculous that they cost so much. But when you look at the price of a 77-inch panel from anyone that's 4K, it's amazing that they cost what they cost. When only a few years ago I did a video, what would you buy if there was no limit price-wise? And at the time, I still would have chosen the TV I had, but 77-inch panels were $15,000. I think the C7 and the C8 actually was extremely, extremely expensive. So to have the A80J and the C1 and the CX be so cheap, it's really interesting as it's putting so much pressure back on the LED market to compete. And it's just, I think it's a great time. In one way, it's a great time to buy TVs because you're able to have so many to choose from. At the same time, it's hard because of the shortages. It's hard because it's in a weird spot now. You have Hisense doing this dual cell. You have mini LED. It's in its infancy. So it's really a challenging time. But that's why if you guys can, if you just step back and hang back a little bit, you'll find something that you really, really want. And I think that's where we come into place as far as us as content creators. I'm one of the smallest of a lot of the people that you follow, but I'm okay with that. This is a part-time thing for me, and I love being able to connect with you guys as much as possible. And I'm here to always help if I can. Duck, what's up? Stacy, how are you? Lil Steve, have new 77-inch 80J. Really like the stand format where you can have the TV. Yeah, it's you can also have it lifted up to put a soundbar underneath it. That's a great option. I wish they had it to where it was closer because I mean that TV is enormous and you need a table that is gigantic to take advantage of it. Damon, how are you? Price cut on the C1 is already happening. I mean, the 65-inch, you're looking for 65-inch. Yeah, Memorial Day. I mean, you're going to have it sooner, and they're going to be dropping every few weeks. And right now, you're seeing C1 and Sony in this battle, which is incredible because only we benefit from that. Oh, thank you, Review the Tube. Very, very nice of you, my friend. You guys are so generous. Jeremy, how are you? Kung Fu Kenny, this is a great question. My family's great, my friend. PS5 only for gaming, C1 or A80J? I love this question because the PS5 does behave very much like the Series X when it's with a Sony panel, which I think is ridiculous because those of you that have Xboxes would want it. It does. Sony TVs do play better with it. The X90J works flawless with the PS5. I would say this, Kenny, it all depends on what you like. The A80J out of the box looks calibrated. It's a very natural image. The C1 has to be messed around with. It's just the way LG is. So I would say that if you like a more saturated image with a little bit more headroom, you can play with it, I would go C1. But if you want really natural out of the box, better for films, only because Sony has that style, I would go Sony. And as long as you're okay losing the HDMI 2.1 ports, and it's actually what a decision I'm going to have to make because I'm going to have a choice between the A90J, the A80J, and the C1 and the G1. So it's going to be a very hard decision. But I would go, if you're going Sony for Sony, keep them together. David, I don't have the 950J. I had the 950H that was on loan to me from Value Electronics. Oh, Julian, thank you. Oh, FOMO put a super chat in there. FOMO is, you're not going to meet a nicer guy on YouTube. FOMO, considering how big FOMO's channel is, honestly, that he continues to have smaller channels like myself on, is just really, really, really good guy, and just support him while you can. Thank you, FOMO. That's amazing. Julian, thinking of getting a 65-inch A80J or C1. I'm a casual gamer. PS5, 60% of the time gaming and 40% streaming. Which one do you recommend? Thank you, Julian. Kind of the same thing. Sony is always going to have a more natural, accurate image. To me, LG is very much the Samsung of OLEDs. There is a little bit of saturation. You can make the image look very cartoony, though the new Sonys have that ability as well with live color. Right now, I'm really, really liking the A80J, Julian, especially if you have a PS5. And thank you so much, Julian. That was very, very nice of you. Yeah, Paul, I mean, not having a 77-inch A90J, I'm going to tell you why I think that is. I think they really want to keep the A90J, and any Master Series at this elevated level. If you start doing what LG's doing, and we'll talk about that too, as FOMO did in his video. Again, thank you, FOMO. When you start interacting your panels too close together. Now, LG's always done this. They've had their E series, they've had their high-end displays that are gallery. They typically had the same insides and then had just a better body. The G1 and the GX are supposed to be different, kind of set themselves apart. When you start getting them too close together, then you feel foolish for buying the gallery series. So I think, from what I'm saying there, Paul, is I think they really want the 83-inch A90J to stand on its own, very much like their Z9G. They don't want it to be too affordable. They want it to be something that is a little bit elite, and the A80J fits in there nicely. To your point, I'd rather see a 77-inch A90J. Thank you, sweetheart. Biff Malibu, how are you, my friend? Good to see you guys in here. I'm going to tell you right now, when I do live streams or even I do video premieres, I always think there's going to be one person. I always think literally you're going to see my personality definitely come out because I'm stressed out and it's been a long couple weeks. But whenever there's one person watching a live stream or even a single video, I'm like, wow, I can't believe people actually watch me talk. So I'm always so grateful. And I don't care if this channel gets huge. I will always be shocked and grateful that you guys are there. And I hope that if there anything that I do for you guys is at least somebody to talk to, that's really all I provide. Hi, Brian. Thank you for all your work and sincerity. Oh, Matt C. Ballstar. Nice name. Match Ballstar. Yeah, Matt. Great name. Thank you for all your work and sincerity. I just got a 77-inch A9G. Dude, the A9G, back to my point about Master Series, the A9G, again, think about that panel is a few years old and was still more money than the C9, the CX, and the C1. So to me, Match Ballstar, if you get in Master Series, I don't care if it's a Master Series from 10 years ago, it's just a good feeling. It's a legacy, and it's always, to me, it's like a Pioneer Elite. They hold their value, at least as far as I'm concerned. Thank you, keeping up with the Joneses. Cambridge, yeah. For some reason, I do feel larger panels are brighter. The problem, it's hard to explain that or say why it is, other than more zones, just a larger image, is that most reviewers that are doing professional reviews aren't able to review larger panels other than 55 and 65, obviously due to cost. So to see like small, I don't really review TVs all that much. I more speak on them and I give you my kind of analysis of how I feel about them. But people that buy TVs, review them, either they return them, cost effective wise, they're not going to be able to buy really, really large ones. And even somebody like FOMO, who and B and a couple other guys, they really invest in their channels and they buy these TVs logistically just in your house, moving them around. You need two people to move something 75 inches. So it's hard to always comment on how larger panels are going to function. I will tell you that I do feel they're brighter. I do feel you do run the risk of screen uniformity issues at larger sizes, not because they have more, but I think simply because you notice them. Spillage Village, how are you? Which of the new panels and what size are you leaning towards? Spillage Village, I will tell you, I think the reason you guys watching me make these decisions is important because I am simply you. I know no more than you guys. I'm just one of you. That's why I say the channel's us, not me, is I'm making the same thought process as you are. And for me, it is size. Now, 77-inch is enormous. Don't get me wrong. But that was kind of, as my friend Brass Tax, shout out to Brass Tax on YouTube, who was just calling me. When I got my 77-inch, he said it was tainted. It was like tainted love. So now I am wanting to go larger. Now that my basement is completely gutted, I do want a larger panel. So I am kind of sold Spillage on 83 inches. And if everything returns to normal and the G1 is really the G1 and the C1 is still really the C1, I'd rather go with an 83-inch C1 over a brighter 77-inch G1. And I always feel like a larger, really good panel beats a smaller, more beautiful panel. So right now I am Spillage Village. If I'm being honest, I'm in the 83-inch division now, which would put me with either the C1 or the A90J. By the time my basement is done, the A90J will be free. That's how long it's going to take me to buy it. Okay. Oh, Kyle, that's a good question. This is a great question. Vizio Quantum XP series, 85 inches or the 900H. If the Vizio Quantum XP series isn't effective, I go with it all day. Just the 900H is nowhere near bright enough to compete with it. The Quantum XP series is nearly 3,000 nits. I haven't kept up with the P series that much because I don't know what year they're coming out. But I would go Quantum XP series if they can be reliable. If you do buy one, Kyle, please buy it at a Costco and do get yourself a warranty with it. Just Lay, when will the Z9G be available? It will be available. It is now the end of May. It will be in the middle of June. You'll see that video again on Value Electronics. We're already planning on putting it against the A90J. So you'll see the 85-inch Z9J versus the 83-inch A90J. I'm telling you, if I could just bring you much more content if I wasn't fixing houses. And again, I have a full-time career and kids and all. Damn kids and marriage and career getting in the way of my YouTube. But I think it's going to be impressive. I'm hoping for Z9G quality. It's just going to be hard to provide that without the backlight master drive that was in the Z9D and the Z9G. But I'm predicting that the X95, which is the 950J, is going to be closer to the Z8H from last year. And then you're going to see the Z9J return to Z9G quality, which would be amazing. It's going to be very expensive, but keep in mind, that's also going to drop after a while. IRL HTR, any word on LG QNEDs dropping? Yes, again, this is going to be very busy. June, they're dropping in June, early July. And actually, I'm pretty excited about them actually, because the NanoCell I did not love, but the NanoCell 8K panel that was at Value Electronics was very impressive, and it's an IPS panel, and I was shocked. It is beautiful. Thank you again, Review the Tube. I appreciate it. Wow, I'm so FOMO. Love the muscle shirt, guy. That's always talking smack. With gaming, happy Friday. How are you, my man? I picked up a Sony AAH 55-inch floor model. Wow, nice price. I hope you're loving it, my friend. I listen to my boys. I love these guys' names right here. I'm so behind. This is my boy Machete Voorhees Gaming. It makes me smile every time I see you on the channel. 77-inch A80J. I gotta go. If you're gonna do just no gaming, you gotta go with the A80J. Only because, to me, LG caught up with Sony last year with their upscaling, but I do feel this cognitive processor is a big deal, and I would give the edge to the A80J for your usage, my friend. And your name is awesome. So I'm clearly very behind, but I do read them all. Stop the FOMO. Who is Stop the FOMO? That's my boy. Just got my 65-inch A90J mounted, and it's awesome matching. So what's interesting with, I'm not going to cut FOMO down in front of him, but FOMO, love his eye, is he talks about these really bright panels and how they, I'm not going to cut in front of his content. He talks about how bright these panels are, but he keeps such a good eye on specular highlights, meaning that even though the panel has a few thousand nits, you'll be shocked that at times, sometimes an OLED will have a higher peak brightness in regards to specular highlights. And he was shocked at, I can't remember if it was the 900 TS, where he felt that the A90 or A9G was actually brighter. So awesome. Haiti, thank you so much, my friend. I'll get to your question. Let's see. You're welcome, Julian. Thank you so much. Let's see. What is that I'm hearing? Okay. Yavis Toussaint. I'm going to butcher these all day. I think I'm not a radio announcer. What is it that I'm hearing that the A80J 77 inch is glossy, has a glossy look? It doesn't, to me, I like the glossier image. It does reflect more light. I don't love the way the matte image looks. And that's just a psychological thing. I don't think it really affects the picture quality much at all. I just think it looks more premium, though it does reflect more of your reflection. So if you want to see yourself a lot. But like the X90J has kind of a, not a muddy, but it has that semi-matte, and it always looks dirty, but it doesn't affect the image quality at all. Thank you so much, Scott. Very, very nice of you. Super chat. I love the LGC one. It looks great. It is. I mean, truthfully, guys, you don't have to, and this is where, FOMO, stay away from the Vizio 85. So FOMO knows something about that. It is interesting when we talk about, well, I just lost my train of thought. Every year, I want to see a steady improvement. I definitely don't want to go backwards at all. And I think I may be expecting too much. I want things to get better every year. And that's where TVs are so much different than audio. Audio, 3-4 years, they'll do a receiver. They don't put out Blu-ray players every year. TVs, we've had that where I want to see something new every year. And I definitely, and FOMO and I have talked about this a great deal, I definitely wanted 4,000 nits by now. And it's just not something that's happening. So the C1, the CX, the C9, the only thing that really delineated them was the C8 not having HDMI 2.1. Yeah, Biff, having a stand for an 85-inch panel is an absolute nightmare. You're probably going to have to hang it, my friend. Hi, Ray. Ray Valero, new one here. Welcome to the community and family, Ray. Thank you for saying hello. Throw a question in there, my boy. But thanks for being part of the party tonight. Wow, I'm really behind. Okay, let's go back up here. I don't miss anybody. Steve Smith, what's up, brother? Tech Med Radar, thank you so much, my friend. I really, really appreciate it. Happy birthday, Pagonis Drutis. How are you, my friend? Lithuania. Awesome. Happy birthday, my friend. How old are you? Put it in the chat so I can wish you a proper birthday. J to the M is in the house. I don't know who Portia and Simon are. So I don't know who they are, Michael. So I don't know what you're saying there. AG, AJ, WTF. Yeah, thought you'd get a PS5 before the COVID vaccine. Yeah, the PS5 thing, and I did a tech therapy video, guys, on the consoles, and it was like an hour and 20 minutes. So I deleted it because, I mean, I get talking, obviously. I think the way they've handled these consoles is disgraceful. And then I think, my opinion on the consoles, I'm happy that I have them, and I do feel having an HDMI 2.1 TV makes it, better having them. I'm glad I have them instead of not having them. But the fact that there's no real exclusives and it's really a bunch of old updates and things like that, it's really to make people wait this long. They should have some exclusives, and they should, they just should have them. It just doesn't make any sense. It's terrible. I knew they were short, but don't release them. Just say, hey, look, guys, we're delaying them, and then give away some games to the PS4 Pro and the Series X or the Xbox One X. Thank you, Patrick. Techno, New York, what's up? Brian, everyone watches you because you are a genuine person looking out for viewers. Thank you so much. I'm just you guys. So if you just took you guys and you sat here, it would be exactly the same. That's why my live streams aren't very exciting. I don't have anything to say, but I do want to. Here's the thing. What the channel has always been for me And I think you guys can relate to this. Technology is obviously what brings us together. I'm in my late 40s. I'll be 47 in the fall. And for me, I used to enjoy technology with a friend and watch movies and video games where people side by side. And I found that, enjoying home theater, even with my wife and kids, it's more about convenience than it is surround sound and stuff like that. So I find when I have these amazing moments of enjoying a game late at night or I'm watching a movie, I immediately think, I wish somebody was here with me. And I do feel like that's what we're doing here. I do feel like that's what this channel is about. So when you guys ask me, do I compete with this channel or that channel? I really don't. I don't care what anyone else is doing. I just want to hang out with you guys. I wish I could give you more and do more and provide more. But I'm really tonight, I just want to see how you're doing and catch up and just go through these comments. I want to go through the comments of every video, and I used to respond to all of them. I just it's not that I don't have the time because I'm a busy YouTube person. I just have family and everything else like you guys do. But just you guys also being part of this during the pandemic has been amazing for me. And I hope I was able to bring some kind of like entertainment to you. I'm much funnier than I am on YouTube, more animated. I just kind of hold back. Maybe I let that go. Mike, how big of an upgrade do you think the X95J will be over the 950H? And Mike, thanks for the love. I really appreciate it with the super chat. Very nice of you. I think it's going to be better, to be honest. I think if I look at how the X90J was better than the 900H in terms of peak brightness, I think you'll see a similar jump with the 95J over the 950H. They're also just taking their time with it. TechMed, hello. Thank you so much. You're very, very generous. I really appreciate it. William and Brian, anytime you go live, I jump on and listen right now, about to leave and get earnest money check. All right, get that money, William. Thank you for watching, my friend.